Hello everyone, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. My name is Ed Acosta, proud Filipino, and I am the multimedia technician in the communications department for the city of Frederick.
And I am TJ Sidikoff, the Director of Operations for the Asian American Center of Frederick. We're honored to be here today to celebrate the incredible contributions of the AAPI communities and nonprofits that uplift and empower them.
AAPI Heritage Month is a time to recognize and celebrate the rich cultural heritage, resilience, and achievements of Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. It's an opportunity to highlight some of the organizations that work tirelessly to support immigrant families and individuals in their pursuits of success and well-being.
In Frederick, we're fortunate to have nonprofits that provide essential services, foster inclusivity, and create a sense of belonging. One such organization is the Asian American Center of Frederick, a minority-led, community-based nonprofit dedicated to enriching the future of Maryland by equipping and empowering immigrants to become independent and self-sufficient contributors to their communities. AACF offers a wide range of programs, including healthcare access, early childhood education, workforce development, citizenship and integration services, language instruction, and emergency financial assistance. Their commitment to cultural enrichment and community support ensures that immigrants and underserved populations have the resources they need to thrive.
Another vital organization is Avani, a nonprofit focused on supporting women, children, and seniors through education, workforce training, and community building initiatives. Avani's Women's Care Program provides career restart opportunities for women, particularly those who are heads of households or displaced homemakers. They also offer STEM education for children, ensuring that young minds have access to science and technology learning experiences that can shape their futures. Additionally, their Desi Senior Cafe fosters social connections and well-being among seniors in the community.
It's inspiring to see organizations like AACF and Avani make a tangible difference in the lives of AAPI individuals and families. Their work not only strengthens our communities, but also ensures that cultural heritage and diversity are celebrated and preserved.
Another organization that plays a crucial role in fostering holistic well-being is the UNESCO Body and Mind Wellness Club, or BMW. This nonprofit, affiliated with UNESCO, is dedicated to promoting mental and emotional wellness, environmental stewardship, and artistic expression. Through initiatives like the Rewind program, BMW helps individuals reconnect with themselves, reduce stress, and build resilience. Their programs focus on self-esteem building, mindfulness, and eco-friendly practices, ensuring that participants develop a deeper sense of inner peace while contributing to a healthier world. By fostering youth leadership, women's empowerment, and cultural appreciation, BMW creates a space where individuals can thrive, both personally and collectively.
While AAPI Heritage Month is a perfect time to recognize these organizations, we should continue to support them year-round. Whether through volunteering, donating, or simply spreading awareness, every effort helps sustain their mission and impact.
TJ, you're right. As we honor AAPI Heritage Month, let's commit to uplifting these nonprofits and ensuring that their work continues to benefit future generations. To all nonprofits represented here, thank you. Your dedication to equity, empowerment, and cultural enrichment, your contributions make Frederick a stronger, more inclusive community.
Thank you all for joining us in the celebration of the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Let's keep the spirit of unity, resilience, and progress alive and thriving.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Glad to hear it. My name is Lakeisha Wade, and I am the Manager of Equity and Inclusion with the City of Frederick. It is truly an honor to stand here before you today as we gather to celebrate the vibrant contributions of the Asian American and Pacific Islander community here in Frederick. The evening is more than just an event. It is a testament to the resilience, strength, and cultural richness that our AAPI friends, neighbors, leaders bring to our city. Frederick is a place that thrives because of its diversity, because of the stories and traditions that shape our shared experience. The AAPI community has played an integral role and shaping the history, economy, and social fabric of our city. From business owners who provide spaces for connection and innovation, to artists who share expression of identity and heritage, to educators who uplift future generations, the contributions of this community are woven throughout all of Frederick. Tonight, we also recognize the extraordinary efforts of local nonprofits that are led by and serve our AAPI community. These organizations are more than service providers. They are lifelines, they are advocates, and bridges of understanding throughout Frederick. They work tirelessly to ensure that cultural heritage is preserved, that resources are available to those in need, and that every individual, regardless of their background, is treated with dignity and respect. As city leaders, neighbors, and friends, it is all of our collective responsibility to uplift, support, and champion their missions. When we stand together, we ensure that justice, equity, and belonging are more than just ideals, they are realities. But beyond this celebration here today, this is also a moment of reflection. The past few years have shown us the importance of standing against intolerance, of speaking out against injustice, and of ensuring that our AAPI community is safe and understands that they are truly valued and heard. We must reject indifference and instead lean into empathy. We must replace silence with action. And we must commit as a city to ensuring that Frederick remains a place where all communities thrive. As we prepare to reflect on the deeper meaning of our gathering, I am honored to introduce a student who has crafted a powerful essay that challenges us to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Their words will remind us of the humanity we all share, of the power of understanding, and of the responsibility we have to one another. Following this moving reading, we will hear from our esteemed mayor, Michael O'Connor, who will share remarks on how our city continues to work toward a more inclusive and equitable future for all. Thank you all for being here, for showing up, for celebrating and advocating for our community. Together, we make Frederick stronger. Let's listen, reflect, and move forward together. Without further ado, please welcome Johnny to the stage.
Patriotism means, for me, to be supportive of our country, to be bold and to represent our country in great ways. To me, it means that we are helping our country, along with everyone in it. Patriotism can be very powerful. It can lead our country through hardships, through struggles, through problematic times. We can do so much for other people too, like leading them and showing acceptance of everyone in our country. We can be strong, we can support our country, we can be bold together. By showing we are proud, we can do so much more than just for ourselves. We can empower people. We can lead people. We can move our country forward with greatness. Even though everyone is not perfect, patriotism can join everyone together as a unified country. Patriotism shows that we love and care for this country and everyone in it. Whether showing patriotism in small ways or in big, proud, and bold ways, we are showing love for our country and all that walk this country, as we are equal, none with greater power, nor anyone being treated unfairly. Patriotism represents our country, our people, our homes, and our voices. Together with patriotism, we can be a unified country where everyone is diverse, different, and unique. Patriotism is so much more than just waving a flag. It's a call for our country to be united and together by moving forward with greatness. Patriotism can join us together. We can be a team, all of us representing our country, all of us loving our country, all of us leading our country, all of us making history, all of us together and equal in this nation. Patriotism means to allow children like me to be better leaders, stronger individuals with good hearts and great intentions.
Good evening. Some of us had the opportunity last week to hear Johnny read that essay at our local Elks Lodge, for which he received recognition. He is a sixth grader at Newmarket Middle School, and I just couldn't be more proud of someone so young having such tremendous understanding about what we need to be as a community, as a people. And so can we just give Johnny one more round of applause? Johnny Coughlin, remember that name. So good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you for being here today in Frederick as we celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Month, or AAPI. This month is a chance to honor the rich culture and contributions of the AAPI communities across the United States, but especially right here in Frederick. I want to start the evening by acknowledging a few people and some organizations. Thank you to Lakeisha Wade, our Manager of Equity and Inclusion, who had a strong hand in organizing and facilitating all of these amazing cultural connection panels that we've put together this year. She works with an amazing team in production led by Lance Duvall, our Manager of Production, our Manager of Arts and Culture, Layla Jadala, and many others that work really diligently to pull these events together throughout the year. I want to give a big hand to Asian Restaurant. They are providing the food that is out in the lobby to help us celebrate this community today. And I want to appreciate the leadership of the Asian American Center of Frederick. They helped us to pull together this group of panelists tonight, as well as all of your incredible work every day in enhancing, empowering, and enriching the lives of immigrants and minorities in our community. And thank you, yes. And before we dive into that panel discussion, I also would like to announce the opening of the Art in City Hall exhibition that is celebrating AAPI Month. This exhibition, organized in collaboration with the Asian American Center, features original calligraphic art from China, images from the center's many public programs and community. We invite you to stop by and see the amazing artwork this month on display at City Hall. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are a cornerstone of Frederick's community. They enrich the culture, power local businesses, lead nonprofits with vision. They educate the next generation and provide exceptional care in our hospitals. Their contributions are woven into the fabric of Frederick, reflecting a growing diversity that strengthens our community every day. We see the cultural impact of AAPI communities in so many aspects of our lives, from the food, from Market Street to the Golden Mile, from festivals and traditions shared in neighborhoods throughout our city. We look forward to seeing a beautiful display of culture on June 14th at the rescheduled Asia on the Creek celebration. We recognize the contributions of artists and authors and designers and innovators who help shape our culture in our schools, our local government, in community groups, working to create equity and connection. We're here tonight to support some of those nonprofits that are doing this work to build a more inclusive future for Frederick. At the same time, we need to acknowledge the challenges that do in fact persist. AAPI communities across the country and in Frederick continue to face racism, stereotyping, and underrepresentation. Too often, the unique struggles of AAPI and immigrant families go unseen and unaddressed. Disparities in access to healthcare, housing, language, services, economic opportunity. These persist. And they're challenges that we must confront if we are to truly live up to our values as a welcoming and inclusive city. As mayor, I am committed to advancing representation, improving access, celebrating community, and most importantly, listening. To hear and address the concerns of Frederick's AAPI community. Despite these barriers, AAPI individuals continue to lead with unwavering dedication to our city. And as we celebrate AAPI Heritage Month, let's not only honor AAPI culture, but also amplify these voices. Let's challenge the narratives that would attempt to divide us and invest in the connections that unite us, building a stronger and more inclusive Frederick for everyone, where every resident is supported. Thank you, and happy AAPI Heritage Month. So now I would like to invite forward our panelists. We have with us this evening Elizabeth Chung, the president of the Asian American Center of Frederick, a minority-led, community-based nonprofit dedicated to equipping and empowering immigrants to be independent and contributors to their community. We have Gurpreet Kaur with Avani and co-founder of the Desi Senior Cafe, which fosters social connections and well-being among seniors in the community. And Zora Rezazada, president of UNESCO's Body, Mind, and Wellness Club, dedicated to promoting mental and emotional wellness, environmental stewardship, and artistic expression. Please welcome our panelists. So first, I want to thank you for being here as we celebrate AAP Month and to recognize the vital role that nonprofits are playing in supporting the AAPI community. So to start, if you could each provide just a brief overview of how your organizations support the community here in Frederick. Elizabeth.
Good afternoon or good evening. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, everyone. It is really great and an honor to be here. How do we support the community is the questions, right? I noticed that my colleague has note. I don't, so let me try it. ACES is really, to me, that is all about communities and by three very key words: to empower, to enhance, and to enrich. And we integrate those three words in our daily life, in our daily work, in our daily activities. And some of you know about, such as the healthcare, with improving, enhancing services by really training and also developing our community health workers and through the cultural relevance lens. So you can see that just one example is how we continue to build the community to provide the need. The vision of the AACF is equities, and that's very important that we are here to provide support to everyone. Doesn't matter what colors, doesn't matter which races, doesn't matter who they are. Every support, doesn't matter what kind, clothing, food, academics, encouragement, so be successful. That's how our model is.
Thank you. Gurpreet.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy AAPI month to everyone. I represent many groups. Today I'm representing Avani. Avani means earth. And Avani is a sister organization that emerged along with Asian American Center of Frederick's help and some other determined individuals in this area with the similar hopes and aspirations for AAPI community. I might have senior moments. I've been in Frederick 29 years, representing Indian Association, AAPI Commission from the Governor's Office, AACF for the longest time. And when it comes to Avani, it just focuses on South Asian community. I'm very new to as a board member, so I might have to just look into some of the key things we do. I have a little cheat sheet. I'm a teacher, so I think I know how to manage. But the core mission of Avani is to work today to bring change for tomorrow for children, seniors, and families. And as Gandhi said, you be the change if you want to bring the change. So they are focused on children to bring the STEM program, bring mentorship for them, because to meet the challenges of the next generation science that we have to face in our coming years. We also have seniors who are here as parents, or the people who have served here for many years. They're retired, so they are having social issues, or say social isolation, maybe mental health issues that can be a taboo. So we try to fulfill that through the resources the city and county has. And of course, women who restart their careers again.
Very good. Zora.
Hello, Mr. Mayor and everyone. Happy AAPI Heritage Month. Thank you for this opportunity also, Lakeisha. UNESCO is an organization that affiliated with UN, United Nations. And I know that it is a little bit long to say UNESCO, but it's all about United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. And we as a club, we are like a children, or if you want, as a non-profit organization that is registered in Maryland, Frederick in 2019, we act as NGOs, non-governative organization. And we take care of 3 flagships mainly. One is about ecosystem protection, because I am a naturalistic and bioarchitect. I have my graduation in Italy 20 years ago, I think. And then from there, I created this kind of connection with the materials, also with the social aspect that is very important in Italy, how to bring the environmental issues in the day-to-day life of the people and make the cultural program out of that, because we all have very beautiful culture around us. And so another thing that we take care, as a matter of fact, we started with Tulip Blue, that was all about bringing East and West together and finding that common ground to work with each other. From there, it came out how about to do body and mind wellness, because I was part of a Hegerestan Community College Alternative Energy Technologies, and they gave me this opportunity to collaborate with them. And the last but not the least is about how to bring peace. It is very difficult, I know. I almost feel a little bit shy talking about that. But as a matter of fact, that is what UNESCO is recognizing in order to have the global peace. That is the reason that UNESCO was created, is to have the inner peace. And so what we do, considering the situation of the world, we try to use always this mantra, think globally, act locally. How to bring those teachings from all around the world in our reality, in our beautiful community of Frederick, and bring more peace, tranquility, considering that so many people are suffering. I don't want to say about anxiety, about depression, and all those hidden issues like drug consumption, for example, suicide planning, that is especially among our young people. And not only that, also about the gender identification, about how to find a way to receive all the benefits that are around you, but you are not even feeling what is going on inside out. So we use this kind of method that UNESCO with their experts and doctors invented to bring this science and medical aspect into our local reality. And if you want, at the end, I can make some experiment with you.
So thank you. We now have a video introduction from Winnie, who shares how attending a community health fair introduced her and her family to the Asian American Center.
My first interaction with Asian American Center Frederick is in the community health fair, where I receive multiple free medical services and health education, learn about the resources in the community, and also have some fun activities with my kids. In that community health fair, the kids learning playgroup was introduced to me, and then I started to take my kids to the learning playgroup. After that, I learned about the community health worker training when I was looking for further education and prepare to get back to the workforce after being a stay-at-home mom for a few years. And then I start to take the community health worker training. Through the training, I gained the community health worker certificate, became an employee of AACF, graduate from the apprenticeship program, and continue to serve back to the community.
So I think that's really interesting what she's talking about here, and it leads to a couple of questions which somewhat captured there, which are some of the key challenges that the AAPI community is facing and what your organization can do to ensure that all community members, from small children to seniors, have access to the resources and the supports that they need. So challenges and doing what you can to ensure access to support and services. Whoever wants to start.
I talk a lot before, okay.
Okay, I will be
Okay,
first
go ahead.
short and brief. As Avni is only 6 years old, a little baby, and I think yours is more than a decade.
Yeah.
And here, AACF, which I'm also part of it, is for 2 decades. So, and collectively, the community leaders themselves have also tried to analyze what are the challenges and issues. When you move here from different parts of the world, so the language and getting used to the new setting is a big issue. And many of the leaders have made a welcome wagon, and I think city and county together 20 years ago had similar approach, but it never was formalized. What AACF did brought it more upfront and worked individually with the communities and the community leaders and the people who moved to Frederick. Avni at this time is doing its focus on South Asians, and South Asians with an give me the word,
Agents.
intergenerational approach. As I said, I might have senior moments. I've been almost 30 years in Frederick, so I came pretty much in prime age here. So yeah, intergenerational approach. So we look at the STEM mentors who are senior students in college or community college or in high school, helping the junior or elementary students, and also to push them further because we have the next generation science approach in the school system and in the world global educational system. Then we have the women who come with their husbands and they just work and they leave the profession. So we have a training for the women who restart their career. So there's a workforce training going on. And sometimes there is a taboo amongst the Asians, overall Asians and South Asians in particularly, not admitting that there is some domestic violence. So there are so many resources are in the city and county. We just provide them the resources to those individuals and so that they can get the support and move forward. And finally, my passion goes for the seniors recently, because seniors are having social isolation, mental health issues also. And again, when they meet with each other, they come up with the similar issues and they feel a little bit better. So we are doing the senior cafe when they network, when we find that their similar issues can be addressed and can be targeted as well. We find out what do they need, what do they want, and what are the resources we have already existing. We don't have to invent the wheel, and provide them the resources. So that's what Avani does, and is following our two groups that are having a lot of experience.
Yes.
To us, immigrants have traumatic experience that each of us experienced. Your great-grandfathers, 4 generations ago, came wherever they were to come to these countries. And yet, for those who came from the Asian Pacific Islanders, so Southeast Asian, South Asian, the challenges that we did not realize, structural barriers that we faced in these countries. I came to the United States, great Dr. King's teaching, JFK's teaching, and all those things that I thought I learned about Americas. Actually, it wasn't really that true until I came, right? So we experienced Japanese internment, the exclusions of the Chinese Exclusion Act, the murders of Vincent Chin, all those. Only after we came, we realized how difficult it is and what was the problem that we have is because we did not know much about the structural racism that we faced until we experience it, whether it's in work, whether it's in daily life, whether it's in school. And then we learned that too, that we are not alone. There are many others who also have the same experience. The difficulty for us is that we did not know how to challenge the system, how to really make our voices heard. It is so important like today. I thank you for being here, to listening to us, because I learned. I learned to speak up to our mayor. So mayor invited us today, so we get a chance to talk about. It's so important, our voices must be heard. So the challenge is our own, our own learning about the system, and at the same time, ask, what did the system know about us? Not a whole lot, maybe better as time goes. So we have a great deal of, frankly, the education of all of us to know about each other's. Differences is not bad. Appreciate them, right? Accept them. And then it's just important to have that sense, after all, it's one human race. And I think that, to me, I'm not going to go a lot, but it is a reflection, a reckoning, and also a remindings for who we are during this particular month. But we have to understand we are Americans. This is my country. So it is important to deal with those internalizations of being inferior because people told us to, the colonizations, right? Being subject to somebody else. We could not do that anymore. So I think that the challenge is, how can we really lift everyone up to say we're all equal, one human race together? And I think that education pieces have to take our own way of learning and plus the system to be open-minded to see that, yes, we're all equal. And that is this young man, yes, patriotism, we are the Americans. Hyphenated, yes, but we preserve and understand, right, our heritage. That's who we are. But we are Americans. So that is very important piece for all of us to know, for new immigrants to know, for new Americans to know. And that's something, if you ask me what the challenge is, that we are no different than anyone. And that is something that we continue to educate each other about the history of our countries. And then knowing the past, knowing the present, and work towards the futures. And that is a very important challenge that we have.
Thank you. So I was born in Iran. You have heard about Iran all these years, about terrorism, mullah, and more. But we have a very beautiful range of majestic mountains. And as a mountain climber, when I think about Iran, I think only about the beauty of nature and the struggles that people have can be really melted in that Zarathustrian culture, for example. I lived in Italy for 21 years, and I was in love with the joyful beaches, the water element, and that connection with people. It was so easy because in that country, or Asian countries like Iran, India, they don't have these barriers, this competition, you can say. Barriers of the language, of the culture, as was mentioned, can be a variety of life, of this beautiful garden with different flowers and weeds also, why not? And now that I am in United States, I really am so amazed every time I look at the sky. It is so breathtaking. I really cannot choose among these possibilities, opportunities, and beauty that Mother Nature is giving us. Wait a minute. I think that I am in love with this planet Earth. So everywhere, when we can feel ourselves, who we are, we can find the best solutions around us. It takes time, but it's like a tree that use even those stones underground to wrap and go around it and become stronger and stronger. To talk about the practical aspects, we learn to not be so isolated, even we are as an office, unfortunately, but collaborating with other like-minded organizations gave us so much to learn from their experiences and come along. Also, the institutions, what they want, what they see, how they feel, how we can bring these young people closer to even beauty of that city hall that nobody knows. No, it's something like an abstract for the young people especially. So we created through always the support of UNESCO this Rewind for the Better Life, but always collaborating with other organizations. It is dedicated to young people, teenagers especially, because they are the most suffering and they are a little bit lost direction and having some ideals even, values even. And it is not only for them, but also we offer all our services free of charge to the community, seniors, adults, young workers. And so with them, especially through the survey, we learn more and more every time how we can proceed and make it our Frederick community better place to live all together.
So each of you have spoken about your experience with your organizations and the time that you've put in. How do you see the next generation contributing to your organization and to the broader AAPI community here in Frederick?
Mayor, I really think that education is very important. So again, education has to be from everyone, for everyone. And I really encourage all of us as a community to know about each other. Because one thing that I didn't mention about the challenge is that we're not being really recognized and known the resources we have. So how many languages, Mayor, do you have? I know that you are asking us a question. I think I can ask you a question, right?
No, that's not allowed.
Now, nobody say no to Elizabeth. You know that, right? So think about our beautiful city. Many, many languages that you have in your neighborhood. in your communities?
Dozens and dozens.
And dozen and dozen and dozen. I have 60, you have more than 60, right? in the city of Frederick. And think about for everyone like myself, behind me have 10. I see Jeep there from Thailand, from Philippines, from Korea. So many of us are here, not just as being tapped into. And I know that you talk about, you have seen our Indonesian community, the ambassador come, the Thailand, and you saw them in the governor's gala this last week, I know. So we're so proud, but yet it is really the education. We need to learn, about each other. And for the next generations, young men, know about the Constitution. Where our democracy is in crisis right now, we have what we call the due process. You can learn that, but be that educated. Learn about what we don't know. America is great because we have a great democracies in here. So we have to uphold the Constitution and understand your right, know the law. What is Civil Rights 6? What is the language, the law that we need to have, right? Provision. So we are together, and we have to love, and that is very important. That I feel that education, loving each other truthfully. We talk about collaboration, we talk about partnership. There has to be real, doesn't matter who gets what more today or tomorrow, but reaching out. And here we build a great community together. So I hope that that's the next generation. And truthfully, ask your classmate, more about their ancestor, right? Their background. It's so much. We got to understand our Black histories. We understand the suffrage of our African American communities. We understand our LGBTQ communities, what they have to go through. The seniors, all of them is part of our communities. And that's what we said the word equities earlier, is I see you, I hear you, I want to work with you. I think that for the next generation, I think we'll continue to really promote the equities lens. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be equally received the same. It's fairness is what we talk about. So I think the education for everyone is important to build a stronger, more united communities. I love Frederick. I think there's no other county and city better than where we are. I told the governor that every day.
Well, great. Thank you, Elizabeth.
He knows Frederick, believe me. He knows our mayor. He knows our county exec. He knows our legislators. So, and it's because we talk about, I have delegates Chris Fair, right? Governors knows very much about Frederick. The AAPI committee has been really, promoting, advocating our beautiful city and a beautiful county. I know that.
So I'll echo what Elizabeth said. That's awesome. But as personally, I felt like when I moved here, even though I was fluent in English, I went to Hood College straight in the master's level, I had no issues. I had a home of my sister where I was staying, but there was a way to write papers, how to speak to someone in a very proper way, American standard way was not there. So maybe my accent is still Little Indian. So I feel like there are many different ranges of issues we all have, whether you come many years ago, whether with English fluency or no English fluency. There are many reasons that you have to have support and targeted support system. And there are support systems in the county, city, as well as the state level. But I feel like there is some lapses here and there. We had the most wonderful program 20 plus years ago, which was the International Festival. And I remember I had to do Scottish dancing, and I had to do the Indian, and I had to do the Spanish hula hoop. And quickly changed my stole, one dress, but the stole was different. And that was the most educated program for the youngsters. You saw the children performing. There were some little speeches, not big speeches by officials, but a lot of educational things were done. Kids were doing hands-on activities. We still do in the street. We still do festivals. We do Haitian Creek. We do Thai Festival. But it is not collaborated together some come, some don't. If there is a series of some talks with exhibitions and small things for children, I think that'll be wonderful. And again, I remember you have to tell the county and states and city schools much more in advance when the events are happening, and yet you could miss the deadline and the program can be running and students cannot come. So I think if that is streamlined, that will be very, very helpful. And again, multicultural class that is done at the master's level should be at the lower level where you can learn from each other and the best of everything. So awareness and collaboration.
Thank you.
We are talking about the future generation, right?
Mhm.
I think that what I note here, that burnout, overwhelming situation that our youth are experiencing, not only at the school, but especially after a school curriculum, that they have to do so many things, so they don't have even time to think about themselves or creating that, networking among each other, especially with this social media, it becomes more difficult. So I think you, Mr. Mayor, is the best person here that can help to understand how we can bring all these young people together and using us as nonprofit organization to help coming along by, for example, this survey that we do. You see, Elizabeth, is helpful to have some paper. For example, we did this survey after that sessions that we did with them. The questions was like very, very generic, the level of their happiness, their contribution to the society, the things that they like about themselves, thinking about themselves, how they deal with their responsibility, relationships, confidence, challenges, purpose of life. And I don't want to being so long. In this case, it's important to know that these young people only sitting, for them it's difficult to sit and bring that silence inside. That silence is everything. It's a silence of universe. If you can give them the opportunity to know about the sympathetic, parasympathetic, all these medical, terminologies, but at the end has to finish to, can you be happy? No. Can we try to feel happiness? No. That is the answer. And when they arrive to that silence, this is the feedback that they gave us. Knowing how to get in tune with my body through a physical, mental sense, it helps me be more self-aware and encourages me to check in with myself. I got just a better connection between my body and mind, and I feel more in control of my body. And this one that is 16 years old is saying, because of school, I have developed stress and it's pretty hard to recover from that. I mean, when I am stressed, no one can say anything to me because it irritates me. And I can go on for quite a while. Here, I learn techniques to raise my energy and calm those negative feelings. Plus, I learn stretching and massaging my fingertips and wrists can help that connection with the physical body and emotions. So these are the way that we operate and we feel good, of that feedback and atmosphere that it creates. So please help us to help you.
Maybe a
everyone.
youth festival is the answer.
So next we want to hear from Nadine, who's going to share how nonprofit support led to skills development through the Asian American Center.
The center has helped me a whole lot because as an immigrant here in the country, I've learned a lot where I can now help others in the community. I have done the community health worker training, the medical interpreters and community interpreters training. I am now CNA, GNA certified, and I use all these skills to help empower other community members as well.
So talk to us about workforce development and skills training and why that is so important for our immigrant community.
Thank you. AACF, again, those three words, right? Enhance, empowered, and enrich. Is really, education is very much part of it. Think about this. Our country is growing, and unfortunately, last night that I heard from the comptroller saying that we have migrations, moving out of our state of Maryland. And it's not necessarily a good sign. So now that we see that we need to really embrace those who come to our state, who come to our counties with a great deal of our resources behind them. Think about it, the Afghan doctors. Think about the Ukrainian professors. We have them. They have the bilingual skill. They have the professional skill. It's already came in turnkey. Why not? But yet what they don't have is a system, the information or understanding, right? In terms of the counting system, or maybe the solar system, or maybe the nursing, the health field. They cannot practice as a doctor, but they can still be part of the medical system. Already the language is an asset to them. The cultural competence asset to them. Why not? So it was very fortunate that we are very, very supported by the Department of Labor, which is the Department of Labor in terms of the federal level, and also the DLLR, which is the state level, of providing us training to help them to get into a field. But because this cultural and language barrier is difficult, it takes a much longer time. So what we're doing right now is pre-apprenticeship, not even apprenticeship. So we're taking pre-apprenticeship, understanding the medical field, and I have seen the Healthcare Coalition in here, so they will appreciate that. Someone to truly understand the medical system, truly understand a bit more about the delivery system first, and then they incorporate their own clinical skill, their own professional skill. So actually, they are bringing more resources to be more cost-effective to help to reduce. Community health worker is just actually really a very good, area to start, for those who just came to this country with medical background. It helped them because we have, immigrants that came, become CHW, and she was a doctor, remember, and she lived in the housing project. So as immigrant, really without resources, because they came from a country that's, in war and all that, just poor, to start with. So as a doctor, think about that. So, but yet they came through the training. They went into, she went into respiratories, and then now that she become a respiratory technician, it's still in her field. So I think that having, that mindset about the immigrant have more resources to bring into our community college. I saw, my friend Tom is there. So it's a great place to work together. Our CTC program with our public school is another place, helping those young people. They might not want to be, they just came to this country, not necessarily have the encouragement, the experience, to go through the 4 years college. They can go into trade school. They can go into automobile. They can go into, other, the area which is non-academic, so to speak. And those are valuable. And there's another area that I want to also focus on, really the women, right? You saw that men maybe, going out to do solar panel, the landscaping, hard labor work. And they have to stay home to really take care of kids. Childcare is an issue for us. But why not train them to become bookkeeper, to become, the business, managers, to help the husband to have, that business. So it's not just workforce, but economic development, and together, to help a new life. So the workforce piece is more than just getting a job, but also going into business development. We have wonderful STEM programs, and so much that we can build and bring the immigrant, resources together. But we need infrastructure, and that's something that I hope our community college will be able to look at that and develop more workforce together with our, with our city economic development or county economic development in terms of futures, because we need, the contribution of the immigrant definitely, is an area that I feel strongly, no matter how hard it is right now, going through a hard time, and some of you know that we lost a lot of money, I remain hopeful that working together with the economic development, business development, community college, or even the faith community, that we can, come through, the more employment, the opportunity, for the community themselves. So I think that is a piece that I feel as a nonprofit, we have done a lot of, social service, and we'll continue to do so, but we can no longer count on, really government funding. You mentioned about they string the government, they string the nonprofits. What's there to, for us to do is to develop independency of, of those kind of resources, but become, the more vibrance and resilience. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
Agree what Elizabeth said. Now, Avni's focus is South Asia at the moment because social service nonprofit organization, which doesn't have too much of funding, and it's a lot of people are volunteering their work. So having that little time and some monetary support, their focus is workforce development is for teaching them if there is a language barrier, do that. Cultural competency is part of it. Work ethics is very important because they might be educated from their countries, which is home countries of India, Pakistan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So they might have even English as their little awareness of English, but maybe not the right way of speaking. So they do a lot of training for that. At the same time, they have this career exploration. Now, there could be some in the computer field, in medical field, but then there are some from agriculture background. Bhutan is another country. Bhutan is from the South Asia. So they're good in agriculture. And so how can they explore their career opportunities here? And so workforce training is part of their training is that. And also people who have, or mothers who have, as she said, women don't do much, but some of them are raising kids. They leave their jobs, and when the kids are high schoolers or college going students, and then they restart their career. So there's a big gap. So how can we fill the gap? So they restart their career. So Avani is focused much on that. But at the same time, the doors are open to everyone. And also if somebody is at the very low level, the language barrier is the biggest. So it's very tailored and is smaller than compared to ACF or the bigger organizations.
Yeah. While organizations like ACP and Avani take care of the basic needs, that is very important, absolutely. Our job as a UNESCO body and Mind Wellness is more to give the possibility of expression to those who have that minimum, but they want to give back to the community and be more able to express themselves fully. So we create so many workshops, competitions for those artists, crafters, especially in this way, not only for young people, again, I highlight that they need to use their hands and come out from that internet and virtual worlds. We created this possibility through different kind of sessions that they can color, they can knit, they can go on the site also for the solar power, solar panels. And in this way, when we display their job through tables in our small centers, that we hope that what we need, bigger space, because we can afford it. So we do generally open house in order to, in the long term, give opportunity to people come in, look at the job they have done, and inviting all the workforce institutions also to come to see and maybe appreciate and maybe give some suggestions Until now, we weren't so successful in that the field. But that connection that we have with these people and the joy and gratitude that they have is a lot. And so I hope one day we can extend this in the bigger and more community engaged networking and support.
I'm going to add a little bit here and give a shout out to AACF because I am AACF also. So when it comes to community health workers or some other language trainings, Avni puts all those candidates to go there. And then there's another one called Minodi here, which does the more of technology. So I give a shout to them too. Because there are so many resources, but they're not put together. And Avni started doing, and AACF does. And now we are like all know each other from decades, so we are putting together. But I think there could be more organization that we might not know. So I think it'll be good to collaborate and find who's doing what and the best.
So we are running out of time, but I have one more question that I want to ask you, and I hate to do this, but I really need to put a kind of a bracket on it and ask you in a sentence or two. Tell us what inspires you most about the AAPI community in Frederick.
For me, I was writing, if we can consider in this country to reduce GDP, that is the gross domestic product, I wrote it down to remember, means that we can embrace more people, embrace more cultures, and AAPI can be a moment of revitalization and the dynamism that they can bring, as Elizabeth and Gottfried explained.
Okay. It's both personal and professional that I feel. Personally, I feel AAPI, I'm AAPI, I celebrate, I enjoy with food, clothing, meeting people, spotlighting other AAPI leaders or those who have done well, and also look into the triumphs or the issues that we have. And professionally, I feel inclusivity and bringing awareness in my work ethics, work place. I'm a special education teacher. I'm celebrating every week, 2 days a week, AAPI, but I also celebrate, just now Cinco de Mayo was there. So awareness amongst the students of all learning styles and ages, and at the same time, having more awareness amongst the citizens and residents of Frederick City, County, and of course our state of Maryland and US. Thank you.
The importance, what I can think of the AAPI, also just like many others in the communities as well. I'm now speaking a little louder because it's very important. Resiliency is really important amongst ourselves, that with the similar culture, but not necessarily the same, right? So the AAPI is, even within the Asians ourselves, we're very diverse, but yet we can come together. So same thing, it's continued to be the diversity within my community, the inclusiveness that we are here together, and also the sense of belonging and equities. And I think that it has to be part of our life, as it's part of our values as Americans. I am Asian, and I'm Asian American. Definitely, there's no illegal person on this stolen land. This is my country. Proud being Asian American.
Zora, Gurpreet, Elizabeth, thank you so much. For a final thought, we have Elizabeth not here only in person, but we also have her on the screen this evening to offer a final thought about the richness of our AAPI community.
And I have to say, this is really, for me, it's the entire communities, not myself. So I want to enjoy.
This particular month is not just for celebration, but it's really for remembering, for reckoning, and reflections. Reflecting that way back in 1843. There's the first Japanese who arrived into the United States. And also to recognize that we have long history of contribution, such as my great-grandfather on my husband's side, Flying Tiger. We dealt with the contribution really is protecting America's overseas. We also have family that work in grocery store, have families that build the railroad. It's way back. So this particular, the contribution we cannot forget. So it's just a month to remember, but also some month to reflect that what does that mean in terms of our roles as Asian American? That we are part of our countries. We believe in our contribution and our work, therefore to make our countries a great country. So that sense of belonging is very important. So Asian Heritage Month is a month that we remembered our ancestors, our tradition, but also not to forget being in the great countries, America's, in who we are. So we're proud. I'm proud being Asian, and I'm proud being Asian American. So we want to share this particular month with everyone, and also remember, that the journey to travel. So, and that's a great time to celebrate.
May I have something for you?
You have something for me?
Yes, I do. No, it's okay.
Plot twist.
Mayor, this is a piece that is interesting. It's written in Chinese, but it's written in Japan. Some of you know that I came back from Japan not too long ago, and this is from a mountain called Permanent Possibility Mountain. So permanent, so long-term possibility, prosperity, and it's a great occasion for me to present to you this. It's only 25 cents, okay? So the picture that's in here, it's written in Chinese, but it says that families, peace. I'm sorry. So it is really protecting family, having peace, having good prosperities. Not so much the business, but the prosperity of of your well-being, and forever blooming. There's a Chinese translation. So this is the protection of our Frederick City. So Mayor, enjoy.
I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Mayor, I do not have a tangible thing.
This is culture too, by the way. So we don't come in empty-handed.
We are way off script right now, just to be clear.
Well, we're done, right? We're finished. So we can now say what we want, right?
Well, no. We're still on.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to take you back to memory lane. In 2022, you were on Channel 10, and you did our Festival of India. And you were then diverse, you are now diverse, a great leader, and I can't thank you enough for being a moderator and our city mayor. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Can we give our panelists a round of applause, and thank all of you for being here today. We appreciate it very much. And please enjoy the delicious food that I think is still out in the lobby. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.